lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. And not like we're in northern Illinois. This is more like bugs and birds and beavers. This is early spring game cameras, northern Illinois. This is just a big flock of blackbirds. It's all in every game camera that I got on the place, and there's thousands of them. I just thought I'd show that in there. 2 pair of wood ducks and 1 pair of mallard ducks in the creek here. And I also have a wet beaver, and not that type of wet beaver. That type of wet beaver. I don't know what he's doing hanging around here. There's no dam in my half-mile stretch of this creek, so west of me there's no trees for 2 miles, and east of me there is trees, but it's a half-mile east. I don't think he's swimming a half-mile east just to eat grass, but I don't know. So like I said, this is what, February, March. I'm not sure if those are the mallards or no, those are the wood ducks. 2 pair of wood ducks. Hard to tell sometimes. There's only 1 deer in this game camera here on the creek. This used to be a great crossing for deer. They were crossing this creek right here all the time. I don't know if it just got deeper in this area. I don't know if the bank got washed out. I don't know what happened to the deer trail across here, but it is not here. What is that? Who's that? I don't think that's the beaver. I think that's river otter. That's the raccoon. And this is the squirrel looking for his nuts. So a wet beaver, and I have a squirrel looking for his nuts. You obviously signed into the wrong channel. Beaver's still there. He's still getting grass, and I don't know what he's up to, or she is up to. She's still coming, gathering grass, gathering mud, hauling it off, and I don't know. Don't know what's going on. Now here, Beaver's just eating, and it's just eating grass. Now the beaver doesn't, maybe the beaver does swim a half-mile to eat grass and then swim back home. I don't know. I don't understand why it would be swimming a half-mile to eat grass and then swim home. There's grass all along this creek, and I don't think Raccoon has decided that that's where the camera should be, and now he's sitting right there cleaning himself so that we can all see it. I don't know. I don't know why. Beaver's back again for another snack. Must like this area of grass. I don't know. So this next camera is, again, they're the same birds, same date that the birds were in the creek, but there's just not only hundreds, there's thousands of them. This camera is usually just monitoring the traffic in and out of my property, but it's also picking up a lot of deer. So I just showed some of the deer in there. Here's the next camera in the front of the woods with the same date that the birds are on there, April 1st, and they didn't really care whether it was your field or your woods or your creek or your grass. They were in every camera. I just thought it was pretty cool. Makes me think Alfred Hitchcock here. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. There's a couple deer. This is what I wanted. I've obviously got to move this. I've already moved this camera. This will be the last shot of this camera, but I didn't realize I was shooting that tree. But I wanted to see how many deer were moving through this area too, because this is an area we don't hunt. This area, I just want to see how many deer were. I did not want to see the squirrels playing in the spring or mating in the spring on that tree. That's not my intention. But there's no deer trail, so I just wanted to make sure that they were moving in this area, and they are. And I should have moved this camera last month to the front of that tree so I wasn't just recording this tree, but we got a early spring through here. You can see the dead ground, and then you can see it all the way till it turns green, and a few antlers are starting to come on. This is what, May, so the bucks are starting to come on a little bit. Now sassafras tree is grown right up in the middle of this camera, so that makes it nice. But the camera served its purpose. It got us through spring, and it let us know that there were deer moving through this area. Here's the next camera, and he's got a couple little nubs there in April. And it would be really nice if they started this in here's May, but it'd be really nice if they started to scrape right there. That would be a nice scrape. A few bucks, young bucks walking through here in May, and the rabbit's checking out the antlers, and I'm sure that's what the rabbit's doing. There's a fawn. There's one of the few fawns that I have on the camera right there. But this is all the way up to June 4th, before they're having babies, which is, well, I think it's a little late, but maybe it's normal, I don't know. There's a buck, July 1st, nice buck. There's a couple other nice bucks right in this area. And like I said, I hope they start a scrape right there. Everybody's looking up at that limb. Maybe I'll start an artificial scrape right there. This one, look at, he's going to be easily identifiable. Look at the brow tines on him. They're all curved end. A racoon. Raccoons poop in the woods. Yep. Coyote, you don't want to see him in there. Neighbor's been hunting a few, and I've been out a couple times, but no luck. But I've got just that one on a couple other cameras too. I think it's the same coyote. The deer are still moving through this area. This is my second favorite area right here. If you're not hunting a corner stand, which is camera's coming up for that one. This is probably my second favorite area to hunt. There's just, springtime's coming, boys. Chasing each other around. Everybody else is like, let's just walk through here and eat something. Raccoon meets possum. Possum doesn't move. Raccoon, not happy, but he runs away. There's one that you don't want to see on your game camera. The closest neighbor with cats is a mile away. I don't think that's her cat. Somebody probably dropped it off. There's somebody, I don't know, checking out their nice brown eyes. I don't know what he's doing here. Or maybe he just wants to eat the camera. I'm trying to ignore that raccoon, but the raccoon is not ignoring me. So maybe I have to kick it. Now that would be nice. Kick it. Bam. Kick it, kick it, kick it. Oh, we're just gonna walk away. Raccoon's following, you should kick it. Oh, you should have kicked it. I know that. You should have kicked the raccoon. You shouldn't just walk away. You should have kicked it. Alright. Just walk away then. Fine. Fine. Coyote. Should kick that one too. Coyote could have ate the raccoon. That would have been good too. There's Mr. Nubs. Just starting out. Spring's just coming. And he's just starting. I think Okay, here's another camera, and this one, a tree is falling right there in the lower right. A tree is falling right in front of this camera, and so it's changed the way these deer are walking this trail. I just went out and moved that tree the other day after I saw it. So hopefully they'll start walking this trail again. But they just totally went a different direction when that tree fell. They were right across their trail. Here's one coming out on close to where the trail's supposed to be, right there. Now this is where the little buck was jumping up and getting this branch last year. Now the only one on the branch is a squirrel. He likes it because he can go from that branch down to that vine. And now he's on the ground. Then here's the one in the corner, probably the best spot for hunting deer on the property right here in the corner of this field. So straight ahead you'll see that goes into the woods, and then right off to your shouldn't say that, so off to your left is woods also. Off to the right is cornfield. Not a huge cornfield way to get into the woods. You can go east or north. Straight ahead is east, and to the left is north. And you can get into the woods. So it's just a nice little corner that's wet. Probably shouldn't drink coffee on my game. I would narrate this, doing a voiceover, and drinking morning coffee. We gotta go out and get these game cameras again. And I got a couple of dead batteries. I know are dead batteries, and get them ready for fall. Get them ready for hunting season. See how it beats. Because there's gotta be some good antlers on there now. But there's one, she's still pregnant. You can see that. Yeah, I was going to say you can see the hoof, but I don't know if it's a hoof or an elbow or a head or you don't know what it is sticking out there, I guess, but you can see there's a fawn in there. But it's just a lot of deer moving right through this area. A lot of deer have been taken right from this tree stand right here. The tree stand right to your left. Right to the north of here is a tree stand. I think I got some footage of us dragging the deer right out of here last year. Just trying to keep these game cameras in battery. I mean, that's a lot of, over the course of this, video, that's a lot of deer out there eating on your cornfield. So this camera's been up, I put this up last fall maybe, moved it into this area, and that possum's kind of walking the trail. There he is. You see the deer eyes. This is the trail I was kind of watching. I thought this was a deer trail right through here. The exact place that he's walking right there was a deer trail, or she. Looks like a she. There's a lot of deer sign in this area, but I couldn't find a trail, and this was the best trail I could find. And you'll see why it's not really a trail. They're just walking all over this area. I don't know. It's not really a trail. There's the Bobcat. March 30th, the Bobcat. Probably female walking through there. Doesn't look big enough to be the male. They say the male's big. I don't know what this is. What is that? I don't know. Don't know. If you know what that one is, you let me know what that one is too. But the deer just kind of walk around in this area. It's not really a trail. I don't think there's any acorns for them to eat here. There's the same nubby guy was checking out. Okay, there's a turkey, and I haven't seen any babies this year, but it's just one lone hen walking through here a few times. I got her probably 5 or 10 times walking through there, but there's a coyote right in the area, so maybe her eggs didn't make it, maybe her babies didn't make it, I don't know. But I never saw any babies from the turkey, which is a shame. But this is just, the deer are moving through this area. They're just not on a trail through this area. I cut out thousands of videos of the wind, but I left this one in. This is pregnant lady again with the brown patch on her rear, on her hip there. But the wind in these next 3 videos is pretty outrageous. It gets pretty rough, so I left it in. It just every camera had this windstorm on it, but it showed up best right here in this camera. It was a pretty good wind blowing through here. Was this May 16th, 6 p.m.? I don't know, I guess it was a good windstorm. Don't remember it, but it's blowing pretty good. And then the 21st, they're back out like nothing happened. Everything got a little greener and they're back at it. She's still pregnant. That's not her. That is her. Yep, that's her pregnant. Looks like her ribs are sticking out, but I think it's just because somebody's in there pushing out her ribs. It might be the same fawn that we saw on the other one. I don't know. I didn't get a look at her yet. Could be that same doe. But I'm going to go out and check the game cameras here real soon and get some antlers on there. So like, subscribe, stay tuned, and hopefully the next one we'll get some nice antlers on there. And maybe her having a baby too will be on there. A few pictures of